Hey there guys, Ultraviolence here, welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to be talking about God Complex, the Doom mod that I've been working on over the past few months. I wanted to talk about what it is, what goals it tries to meet, how it changes clusterfuck, and go into some more detail on the new features like weapons, items, monsters, etc. But before that, I want to talk about why I started making this mod in the first place. It is quite an interesting story, believe me. One day, in the middle of 2021, I was playing Clusterfuck online with all the Nexus add-ons. I was playing co-op with a friend when something happened that pushed me over the edge. I snapped. To be clear, I did have fun playing Clusterfuck Nexus online most of the time, but there were some things about it that frustrated me to my very core. Some of the additions to the various Nexus add-ons like the Kazumi add-on, TXS, Hellsmith, were okay. Some things were actually really good and creative, but there was also a lot that felt incredibly lazy. As if some modders for these projects didn't really care about the overall balance of Clusterfuck and just wanted to make some strong bosses or turn anime characters into bosses for their own enjoyment, even if they were horribly balanced. You know, I can forgive it though. People should be allowed to have fun however they want to have it. But I'm not going to pretend that I enjoyed those additions. Some of the Kazumi anime monsters are actually really well made. They have some really creative attacks that are really different from a lot of the other monsters in Clusterfuck, but some were just infuriating to fight. Nothing quite pushed me over the edge like the Nemesis and Vex Chainsaw Zombie did. My co-op friend and I back then were spawn killed probably over 40 times by these motherfuckers. We were both so frustrated by it that I decided to figure out how to remove them from the spawns altogether. And that was the spark. After figuring out how to remove them from the game, I started looking at other things that I could change. At first, God Complex was a simple balance patch, but the more I learned, the more I kept dreaming bigger. I talked to my friend Carrot, who made sprites for Complex Chaos back in the day, formerly known as Clusterplex. Those sprites were never used, and so I got permission to use the weapon sprites he made from that project in this mod now. And boom, from there God Complex turned into a real mod. I felt inspired to make more new things rather than just edit what we already had. I had already made some new things at that point, but the respriting of these weapons really made it feel like a full mod rather than just a small add-on or balance patch. So with all that said, what was the overall goal of God Complex? Well, originally, the very first name I gave the mod was Clusterfuck Fearless. Fearless is a combination of three words, suffer less and fearless, combined into one. In simple terms, the goals were for it to be challenging, less frustrating, and fun. I love Clusterfuck. Without it, my channel wouldn't be what it is today. I've always cared for it. God Complex comes from a place of love. I didn't make it just because I wanted to have a go at making my own stuff. I really wanted to turn Clusterfuck into something that can be enjoyed by more people. I wanted to be able to leave it in a state where I could be proud of it. I didn't want Clusterfuck to continue being something that the wider Doom community looked at as an unbalanced mess. I wanted to at least try to rebrand it and turn it into something that could be taken seriously. And try I did, because I saw potential in it. God Complex unfucks Clusterfuck. The progression system really changes the way the game feels. Instead of being thrown into the deep end the second you boot up map 1 of a WOD, you'll have time to breathe and learn and feel out the game. In God Complex, there are 10 game tiers to progress through. Starting at tier 0, the game will feel a lot more like LCA than Clusterfuck. Enraged monsters can only spawn beyond tier 1 and Nemesis monsters beyond tier 3. It should almost feel like you are progressing through the add-ons themselves as you increase your game tier level. Starting at LCA, you progress to Insane LCA, then to Clusterfuck, and then to Nexus and TLCA, which is the True Legendary Complex add-on made by High Counselor, who is a legend for letting me use his True Legendary monsters. Thank you very much, my dude. The progression system is not perfectly structured though. There is still some randomness involved to keep things from feeling too predictable. I was worried about this early on, but after playtesting a lot, I can safely say it pretty much never feels predictable in that way. In fact, I've always found it exciting when you first start running into Enraged and Nemesis monsters. Everyone who has tested God Complex for me has told me it's hard to go back to regular Clusterfuck after playing with this progression system, and I agree. The game feels really good to play from the beginning, at least compared to how it has been in the past. Tiers 7 and above are where things get really crazy and you'll start to feel like a real god fighting other gods for supremacy. But yeah, tiers like 1 to 4, 5 to 6, the progression is really smooth, and it actually kind of feels like you are playing different games at times. It feels really diverse and dynamic, and it's actually you really do feel like you are Spider-Man. I hope you all get that joke. If you don't, then I'm sorry. Alright, I think that just about does it for the intro explanation. I know you didn't ask for a life story, but you got it anyway. Time to talk about game features like new items, weapons, monsters, how Vex shit works now, how to get the Nemesis rune, how to reach the Nemesis macrocosm, and this kind of like new game plus feature that is sort of a thing now. That will all be explained throughout the rest of the video. Let us begin. Alrighty, so here we go. I've got a little map here that I made for myself. You're probably going to see it looking a little bit different in each of the videos that I make covering God Complex. There are probably different monsters spawned in here. I've just spawned monsters in these cabinets that will help me like demonstrate some of the changes and new features and shit. So in the coming videos, I think there should be like maybe 2 or 3 at the most. I've got a bunch of like rooms with like, you know, items and re-sprites and shit to show off. And a room out there to like just fuck around in with a bunch of monsters. We've also got a testing area in here with like a switch that summons monsters and a bunch of items so I can show you guys later. Some monsters, some more items, and then we've got an arena out here for like actually testing monsters properly, like individual bosses and an open area with some items and stuff. It's gonna be sweet. And further down here, there's more cabinets. We've got a long corridor just with the true legendary monsters, not all of them, but most of them. And then we've got some Terminators and a Vex Sentient. These will come in handy later when we're going to test some shit. So this video today is going to be focused mostly on the weapon changes and the new weapons, the reworks, new features, whatever, everything weapons. And then in the next video, we'll be focusing on monsters and fitting as much as I can in there as possible. And then the one after that, if I have to do 3 videos, will be focused on items and any other things to cover. So let's get into it. Well, it's time to talk about weapons. Let's go. I'm going to do a give all. I've got all my weapons and shit. Now I'm going to show you guys something that you're going to be fucking a little bit freaked out about. If you haven't watched any gameplay of God Complex in the past on my channel and you're familiar with clusterfuck, then get ready for this. Would you look at that? A legendary monster taking damage from a legendary weapon. An enraged weapon doing damage as well. No fucking way. Nemesis, you know, this always works. D-Tech rifle is pretty good. And let's try it on the enraged monster as well. D-Tech rifle, just for show. Legendary weapon, it's pretty good as well. Enraged weapon, a little bit better than that. And the Nemesis weapon, even better. Nemesis weapon never fails, man. Again, let's just show it all again, because why not? One more demonstration against another enraged monster. So, as you can see, legendary weapons, enraged weapons, Nemesis weapons. These weapons will never, ever be useless ever again. Nemesis weapons were never useless, I know that. But like, enraged and the legendary weapons, they always kind of like did nothing. Like, think back on all your time playing clusterfuck in the past where you deliberately were not using these weapons because they were just too strong for the only... Like, they were only good against fodder enemies. They were never really good against bosses. So like... we never really had a reason to use them. They would just kind of like collect dust in our inventories. I mean, we were happy we had them. Whenever we got these weapons, we were excited, but like, they were never really good against anything until now. So I made this change because, yeah, I wanted these weapons to never be useless. I want them to always be good. These are meant to be the best weapons. These are the weapons, you know, we kill these crazy strong boss monsters for them, and like, the weapons they drop should be good. So this change will make the loot drops more exciting. You're going to want these weapons more badly because they are legitimate game changers, especially when you first get one. You're going to be trying to keep your ammo and conserve it, but then there's going to be an enemy that you just have to pull these weapons out against, and I think it's really cool. It makes these weapons more desirable overall. So yeah, these weapons have more purpose now, and I think it's for the best. So regarding Nemesis and Enraged and Legendary, the enraged weapons always kind of felt like the awkward middle child of the family where they didn't really have a strong identity. The Nemesis weapons had the invul piercing, and the legendary weapons were just the first of its kind, so like they were always going to be there. The enraged weapons were just kind of like the legendary weapons, but a little bit stronger. And I kind of wanted to give them more purpose than that, so I went and made them extra strong against super bosses. If you don't know what a super boss is, it's what I call the bosses that aren't legendary or Nemesis or enraged or whatever. Bosses like the Terminators, you know, Abyssal Satyr, Heresiarch, that kind of thing. The enraged weapons are just good against them. Nemesis weapons are probably still a little bit stronger against some of them, but like the enraged weapons are definitely go-to weapons when it comes to these enemies now. As you can see, it is shredding the Terminator. Although that Terminator has been like kind of reworked a little bit. Not much, but like I've made him more of an early game boss. He's like a mid-level boss, and then like the Demented Terminator, Legendary Terminator, they are definitely end-game bosses. They've got more health, they're more aggressive, you know. But make no mistake, just because your like weapons are strong against these guys, you know, they will still fuck you up. They will shred you. Especially with a True Leg Rune. Be even stronger. Get shredded. Let's try Nemesis weapon. Yeah, I think the enraged weapon might actually be better against the regular Terminator than the Nemesis rifle, to be honest. We could try a enraged ASG. Although I kind of wanted to save this for later. I won't show off the enraged shotgun. I'll save that for later. We are going to go through all the weapons individually, so when we get to that point in the video, that's when you'll see it. So we're going to talk about the Nemesis rune. That's going to be the thing now, because, well, I mean, I could save the Nemesis rune for the items and power-ups video, but the Nemesis rune is kind of tied directly to the Nemesis weapons, so we kind of need it to show what the Nemesis weapons can really do. Get ready for some shit. So, the Nemesis rune is now an inventory item. I'm going to pick up True Lagoon as well, because fuck it. Max power. Let's chuck on the Nemesis rune. Why does it still say 600, 600? I know I changed that, you fucking piece of shit. Well, that's meant to say it'll drain health and armor to 500, 500, but it still hasn't been changed for some reason. Let's turn it on. So while active, it drains your health down to 500, 500. In the slaughter version of the mod, it'll be 600, 600. Not that it really matters. This rune grants a lot of power, and I thought that because we are already so powerful, it should also come at a price. So you sacrifice some of your defenses to gain power, and it kind of makes sense. Like, it is a demonic rune. I feel like these kinds of things, like in a lore sense, like kind of work out. And also, every time you deactivate and reactivate it, it consumes some of your health and armor as well. So you can't just keep flicking it on and off just to like avoid the drain. It does come at a price no matter what. So what does it do? Nemesis rune off. We shoot our guns. Boom. Nemesis rune on. And now we're shooting Vexed Fire from our Nemesis SSG. And yes, this works against Nemesis enemies. Let's go check it out. Summon Nemesis Hell Knight. Let's turn the rune off. He should just take damage because, like, I've made it so that Nemesis weapons do a little bit of damage against the Nemesis monsters now. But it's not a lot. Let's turn the rune on. Please stop teleporting through my attacks. Why are you doing this? Okay, maybe a bit easier with the Nemesis rifle. Yes, big difference. The lightning does vex damage, it's very strong. But still, you know, the Nemesis monsters are fucking complete beasts. I would still not like main this against them, even though this does vex damage. It's just kind of like a cool feature that the vex damage is a thing that works, but it's not something to rely on against Nemesis monsters, that's for sure. And I just realized I showed off the Nemesis rifle without like even, I wasn't ready for that. What the fuck, man? So, yeah, Nemesis SSG, pretty sweet, but it has another hidden benefit. I'm going to turn the rune off and summon in some monsters. Actually, I'm going to stand away first, check this shit out. So with it on, you get this, like, dark aura, and this is only while holding the Nemesis SSG. If I go over here and turn it on here, the aura will, like, drain the life force of nearby enemies. It's great against fodder for saving ammo, but it's not great against stronger enemies. You will just take damage. If I turn off God mode, I'm probably going to start getting wrecked. Maybe. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Alright, well, we survived, but, you know, barely. But yeah, it's not something... when I first showed this off in a video a while back, it was a lot stronger, and it was kind of ridiculous, and some people pointed it out, like, yeah, that's a bit strong. And I agreed, so I changed it, and yeah, so it's great for clearing out fodder enemies, like just regular imps and zombies, and, you know, you save a lot of ammo. Alright, let's move on to the Nemesis ASG. This does not have a aura effect like the SSG that is exclusive to that, but it does have its own benefits. Let's turn the rune off. If we try to use the alt fire, it says you lack power, you need the Nemesis rune for that. It's a regular Nemesis shotgun, turn the rune on, now start shooting these little explosive things as well. As you can see. The alt fire is pretty epic. I'm gonna face this, I'll aim it out here. Fuck it, I just want some space. It is a great boss killer. Oh, got some enemies spawning in here. Yeah, so And it pushes you back so much, and like it makes you swap to your fists because it's just that powerful of a weapon. Doom Guy kind of has to put it away, like after using that attack. He's yo, I can't hold this anymore, man. This is too much. But also, as an added benefit, because it pushes you back, it also unleashes an explosion out of your ass. And it will kill nearby enemies. I need God mode on, and I need it now. So yeah, it's got that effect, and then obviously just the shooting is just fantastic. Oops, don't look at that yet. Oh, Carrot Master's awake. No. And this guy. Wait, he can power up? I didn't know that. What the fuck? I'll explain the powering up thing in the monsters video. Don't mind. Revolver, Nemesis rune off. It is a regular Nemesis revolver. It's very strong. When you have one shot left in the mag, it does this. The weapon darkens. It looks really cool. Then it like shoots a thing that makes some bullshit appear. Enemies inside that bullshit take damage. Let's just do one more again without me talking so you can hear the cool sound. Very cool. Nemesis rune on. Well, we didn't get it. So, okay, what happens when the Nemesis rune is on is there's a chance you'll get to shoot this twice in a row. Come on, motherfucker, do it. Here we go. And sometimes you can actually... I've actually had it, like, give me 4 shots in a row a few times. Alright, this dude showed up just so we can do a damage test on him. Thank you very much, Leg Rev. Nice of you to show up. Look, mate. Oh, he did jump. Go away. Okay, enough. Let's test this against some more monsters. It does have like an explosive sort of shot. It will damage nearby enemies, the regular shot. It's pretty sweet. But this shot also draws enemies in. It pulls them in and then it does some bullshit. And that's the Nemesis revolver, everyone. It's cool. Leg revolver too, we'll go over that later. Makes a cool sound when it comes out. Okay, Nemesis LMG now. Now, Nemesis LMG uses the same ammo type as the Nemesis revolver. And they're both very strong. The Nemesis LMG does not have as big of an ammo pool as the other weapons because, I mean, giving us a whole nother Nemesis weapon kind of like... It sort of broke the ammo economy for a bit, and I thought, you know what, let's just make it really strong and make it have less ammo. And that's what I did. Hey, look, we got another rev. And one of you as well. What's up, man? So, in case you didn't know, the way the monster spawners work is the legendary monsters that would spawn, they start off as invisible monsters, and then they, like, read the player's inventory before the game chooses what to actually spawn there. And that's why, like, they're just randomly appearing, because I took off no target, and then they saw me, and they're like, okay, I'm going to be a leg rev now. And yeah, that's kind of what happened there. I've got no target on now. Alright, so, with the rune off, the primary fire is actually pretty much the same. It's no different at all. But you do unlock the alt fire mode with the Nemesis rune on. And it's kind of similar to the Nemesis ASG, but it shoots the things that the Nemesis revolver shoots. But I think they're a little bit different. Wow, they all died very quickly. There's a cooldown on that switch, so I can't activate it yet. Yeah, it's very strong. It also makes you slow after using it, and it's very cool. Nemesis rifle, you've already seen this a little bit, but we'll demonstrate it again. In fact, I'll show you something kind of cool, actually. Let's say you're playing online, and there's a legendary barrel. And you kind of want to troll your friends a little bit. And you know, you just tell them, hey, come over here, I got something for you. And you just like bring it over to the door, they open the door, and then fucking boom in their face. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I know. Yeah, you can do that in like single player as well and use it to kill enemies, I guess. Pretty sweet. Yeah, this weapon is just a powerhouse with the Nemesis rune active. It also draws enemies in, like, I mean, it did with the barrel, so it would here as well. It's not as good for clearing out waves of enemies or mobs. But against bosses, it's very, very strong. Now for the Nemesis BFG. Oh my god, he's going true leg. And there's no music on, so you can't really hear the cool song. What's up, man? Yeah, if the leg behemoth sees you with a Nemesis rune active, he will turn into his true leg form, but that's not meant to be in this video, so go away. I mean, the Nemesis BFG is already strong enough as it is, right? I didn't want to give it anything too crazy. Sweet. Oh my god, I didn't show off the Nemesis cannon before. How did I forget this? Alrighty, so we got the Nemesis cannon now. This weapon is a beast. Epic sounds, epic sprites, love it. Alt fire, you require the Nemesis rune, but without it, it actually creates these two little explosion things that seek enemies. I'm gonna summon a Cyber Lord. They can be a bit dumb though sometimes. Sometimes they track really aggressively and sometimes they just miss. Earlier today they were tracking really well and it was awesome, and now they are being dumb. Awesome. Love it. Come on, man, get him. Yeah, there we go. Maybe and then I have to be like looking at the dude. No, that one does the thing of its own. Epic. Weapon is strong. Let's turn the rune on. Now it will create 4 of those things. And they fucking seeked him properly this time. Good job, boys. So what does the alt fire do? Well, that is a... where is a good way and a good place to demonstrate this? I'm going to summon a Cyber Lord. Here. And I'm going to shoot this somewhere around here and see what happens. Oh my god. That's not what I was expecting to happen at all. Are these things all gonna... Oh my god, he died. Let's summon another one. Go! They're going after him again. Oh my god, that's so sick. So yeah, it kind of like creates this like field of bullshit. And after using this attack, it has a cooldown of 30 seconds. I don't want people spamming this just in case some people's PCs can't handle it online and shit. So yeah, I did put a little limitation on it. It just creates a field of shit, and half of them will track aggressively. But I love how they just fucking fully start changing direction when he's summoned in. I want to do it again. Yo, they get fully booked around, those fucking big balls. Okay, let's just... This is actually like, I don't know, man. I find that really fun. I find that just, it's funny. It's like humorous almost. It's cool. I love it. I love it. Okay. So the only way you can actually use its unique function is if you have the Nemesis rune on and you have max Nemesis ammo. But here's the thing, is that, I might have mentioned it earlier, when you get fragments, it increases your overall ammo pool. So I'm going to summon in some fragments. Summon a legendary fragment. Alright, I just picked up a bunch of fragments, and I'm going to do something. Alright, so now when I do a give all, my ammo will increase for the legendary, enraged, and nemesis shit. Watch the side of the screen. Boom. Now that I've got 180, it's going to say power is unstable. It does these earthquake things randomly. I'm surprised it's not killing these enemies. What the fuck? What is going on? Okay, well, actually, just shot, so... That's very strange. But this is actually quite strong when it works. But it's not something you can rely on, because it doesn't happen all the time. Why are these imps not affected by it? It's so weird. What the fuck? I've never seen this before. I've done this in this room plenty of times and it normally works. It's so strange. What the fuck, man? What about the imps out here? Why are the imps unaffected? They're just imps. What the fuck? That's so weird. What? Why are your eyes going green? That's not right. Time to die. Okay. I don't know, man. I'm concerned. I don't know about you, but like, I guess the imps are just immune to the Nemesis BFGs, like weird. What the fuck, man? That's so strange. This works. It's the same thing, though. It literally uses the same kind of code. It makes no sense. I don't know. I don't know what to say. We move on. It's time to go over each of the weapons individually. Let's start a new game. I'm gonna do give all. I'm not gonna summon any monsters. Let's just keep the sound nice and quiet so I can play some music in the video instead of hearing these annoying rune idle sounds. Okay. We'll start from the bottom. The fist. I might just actually save right here just to keep it simple. The fist. It actually has an alt fire. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. Just for the fist, I'll do this because I'm going to want these things here. So when you have a Nemesis rune and 2 Vex fragments, I'm going to disable it just for showing. If I try and alt fire with the fist, it's going to say requires Nemesis rune plus 2 Vex fragments. Let's summon in a boss. Okay, Hellfire Cyber. He's probably just going to teleport out of the way, but let's turn the rune on and do the thing. Okay, that didn't really hurt him very much. That should have hurt him more, man. Fuck. Maybe we should give ourselves a rune. Get more Vex fragments here. Pick it up, idiot. Try again. Ah, much stronger. Much stronger. Way better. Yeah, boy. Yeah, that little... I don't know why I made that with the fist, but it's pretty fucking cool. What is happening? I'm trying to find the fist again. Okay, next up from the fist is the pistol. No mind, no change here. Okay, there's a change here. Let's summon a Sphere of Power. This is pretty sweet. So this has always had an empowered form, but I changed it so that it does something extra. It shoots more shit. But what if we combine it with a spread item? It's actually sick. It is like satisfying as fuck to use, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, so that's the empowered form of the D-Tech pistol. It shoots 2 extra projectiles, and with spread, it's fucking cool. Okay, next please. Hellstaff now has sort of new sprites. As you can see, it's got this like energy shit that goes in it. It has invul piercing on its regular attack, and also the alt fire shoots these healing things that you can use to heal yourself or allies. Oops. Up to 300 health. The legendary revolver. Now this weapon is probably my favorite new weapon. I just love the way it looks. I love the way it sounds. And on the last shot in the mag, similar to the Nemesis revolver, the ammo at the bottom right goes blue, and it makes this cool sound, and it glows, and then it shoots a true legendary projectile that explodes. I don't know if I pointed it out before, but the ammo actually turns white for this as well, as you can see. This has 7 shots in the mag, this has 6, so I mean, the reason this has 6 instead of 7 is that, like, you can get to that true legendary shot quicker. And yeah, there's actually an upgrade for this as well. This is a new addition, literally made it today. Only true legendary Doom Guy drops this, and only if you kill him with a certain weapon. That is also how you acquire the Saiyan Sphere. This is not really meant to be taken seriously, this thing. It's kind of like a very, very end game. Like, you've really at your max level, you're at a tier 10, tier 8, I guess, and you've just killed true legendary Doom Guy, which, you know, you wouldn't see until, like, you know, you've played quite a bit. And what it does is it makes it so you can do that cool shot on every shot. And this weapon becomes incredibly strong. Alright, next up on the menu is the explosive SSG. So this hasn't changed itself, but as you know, we use it to shotgun jump, okay? And I think we all know how painful it is when you really want to shotgun jump quickly. You got to go to your shotguns and you got to find it. Where the fuck is it? Boom. Well, what if I told you there is a key you can press to just fucking get your explosive SSG straight away? Look at this. So the one key where all like the weird weapons are and the sword, the explosive SSG is now at the top of that. So So you can find it in your shotguns, and it's also here on the 1 key. Quick access, shotgun jump, no problem. Rapid shotgun, new sprites. Alright, next up from this is the freezer shotgun, originally the plasma shotgun in TXS. It freezes enemies, what more do you want? Demon Tech shotgun, this has been reworked a little bit. The overall damage output I've nerfed a little bit, but the alt fire does invul piercing now. So, you know, this is actually, it's really good. You get up in an enemy's face right as they go invul just to finish them off, and boom, and it's actually very strong. As you can see, invul piercing, yay! Okay, now he's doing it. He's invul, and I'm just gonna go, I know ammo! You fucking piece of shit! Oh, it doesn't matter now. Look, man, just take my word for it, okay? I fucking hate you. Stop! I fucking, you suck. Alrighty, phase tech quad, let's go over this. This is a brand new weapon. It looks fucking sick. I love it. I'm actually recording this little clip here a day after the previous recordings and everything else that's in the video, because I decided to do a bit of a rework on it. I needed to rebalance it, and then I came out with a couple of ideas. So this weapon shoots like a bunch of projectiles that like drop gas everywhere. It's purple, like acid type gas looking shit. And when you reload, you go invisible. And the invisibility has like a cooldown of 60 seconds, so you can't just spam it. It has one of the coolest reload animations I've ever seen. It drops the shells out of the bottom of the weapon, so just imagine there's like a little like doorway sort of thing that opens in the bottom of the weapon. And that's where the shells come out. And then you've got the alt fire, which you know, I've already shot a couple of times, I think. But you can actually change the alt fire mode to gas. Kind of like a flamethrower, but it shoots gas now, and it uses the mana ammo, which you can see at the bottom of the screen, as you can see. So I'm going to do a little demonstration here without talking, so you can hear all the cool sounds. Let's do it. Now let's test against some enemies, shall we? I spent quite a lot of time rebalancing this today, trying to make it just like have a place in the game. It felt a little bit too close to the power level of this, but then I also didn't want it to be too strong. It's hard to balance things. There are already so many weapons. It's hard to like give a weapon a unique place, honestly. So the gas itself is really strong. It's very close range though, kind of like a shotgun range, and it chugs through the ammo like very aggressively. And the primary fire kind of like gives you a way of using that gas at longer range. As you can see, it'll like spread gas through the room, and that also consumes a chunk of mana as well. So let's test it out. Once my invisibility goes away, I'll pick up a rune as well. All right, here we go. Oh my god, put God mode on, you idiot. But compared to this, so this weapon doesn't work all the time. The problem with legendary monsters is they have very aggressive pain states, so any little bit of damage can send them into their pain state, which, you know, some of them will go invul when they go to their pain state. They can also teleport, which makes them just like, some damage will just go through them if they're in the middle of teleporting. And that's why weapons like this sometimes don't do the same amount of damage every time. At least that's what I've come to think. I've gone and made it so the projectiles of the phase tech quad, they have a lower chance of inflicting pain. So most of the damage tends to hit. Yeah, the gas is very strong if you can get up close range, but it's not good against every enemy. As you can see, you really do burn through ammo quite fast. And you should find that it's less effective against Nemesis monsters. Well, already out of ammo. And same with the Vexed. In fact, it's not damaging him at all. I was doing a little bit with the True Leg rune. God, Vex monsters are just insane. They are fucking scary, man. Scary motherfuckers. Alright, let's go test this shit against some plebs. Alright. Let's go with the gas mode. I've set it so that this gas shit, like, it pretty much, any enemy that has a gib state, like, that can be gibbed, it will fucking gib them. And it's very satisfying. It's like the acidy gas is like eating away at them, and it just turns them to just blood. That sounds very brutal, but it's cool, man. I like it. The projectile mode, I don't really like this that much. I actually was going to remove it and replace it with the gas mode, but after asking some people, they suggested doing an alt fire, like actually being able to change the fire mode and have both of them. So I wouldn't expect the projectile mode to be good against ads. It's probably got some purpose. Look, people wanted me to keep it, so I kept it, but I was willing to get rid of it because it doesn't really have a major purpose. Yeah, this weapon is awesome, man. I absolutely love it. The reload animation is sick. I do feel like it's in a pretty decent spot right now where it's not super OP, but it is definitely strong and fun to use. What the fuck? What do you do? Hello? Also, the projectile mode actually is good just because it doesn't use any mana. So there's a way of using this weapon without consuming mana, and that's pretty sweet. Alrighty, let's move on. Next up, Legendary ASG. I'm going to pair this with the Enraged ASG as well. It shoots these like projectile things now instead of just like hit scan. I wanted to try and like make them a bit more flashy and interesting. Enraged ASG shoots more, and they're stronger. And if enemies are like, if these things land underneath enemies, or like, they'll kind of like bleed them out. Let's see if I can show it off. You can see it sort of like continues to damage him a bit. But this is not quite as good at taking down bosses as like the Enraged Rifle, for example. It's definitely much better at clearing like ads and shit. Also, enemies that have invul, like, this is not quite as good against them either. This has invul piercing though. And the second they go invul, this weapon sort of becomes less useful. But only the plasmatic weapons have invul piercing. Like this has invul piercing. I kind of wanted to keep it consistent like that. Yeah, so Legendary Quad. This is a weapon that was in either TXS or Nexus. I think it was TXS. Why is it dark in here? It should be brighter than this. Very strange. Yeah. But Carrot resprited it for me. Did a really, really nice recolor. Actually is probably one of the better looking weapons in the whole mod now, I think. It's very good. It's very strong. But not much interesting about it, like, other than just the fact that it's a quad and it's legendary. We already went over the Nemesis weapons. Explosive minigun got new sprites. Yay. Looks really nice. Good job, Carrot. Explosive rifle got a rework. It is now a burst rifle. I kind of wanted this to be another one of those, like, sort of main weapons, you know, things that you sort of just go to when you're roaming maps and you're just killing mobs. Like the D-Tech rifle, I would consider one of those, just a weapon you have out most of the time before, like, and then you get into a boss fight and then you swap to, like, your strong shit. Yeah, so the explosive rifle is kind of meant to be like another one of those. It also has a sniper shot, which does more damage than a burst in one shot, but not heaps, just a little bit more. Improved minigun just does invul piercing, like, straight up. Oh my god, ammo please. This is the I don't give a fuck weapon. It's just always good. It is a boss killer, straight up. Uses 2 shots for 1 shot. That makes sense. Cool. Enraged LMG got new sprites, new sounds. Nemesis thing did this. Okay, the rocket launcher. Now, this is something I have to investigate as well. There is a slight problem with the empowered version. It's nowhere near as strong as it's supposed to be for some reason. I don't know why, but I will buff it. But just without the sphere of power, the rocket is much faster. The explosion radius is smaller, but it's stronger. and the rocket has invul piercing. This is like the first weapon you'll probably get that has invul piercing. I decided that, like, you know, invul is just so painful that I think the player should have something at their disposal early on in the game that just has invul piercing. And the rocket launcher was always a weapon that we kind of like never really used much, and ever since making this change, the rocket launcher is a weapon that I use all the time now. Very cool. Did I even show off the rocket launcher? I don't think I did. Fuck, man. Here's the empowered version. It's really cool. It has awesome sounds. One of the coolest reload sounds ever. Alright, new grenade launcher, as you can see. Similar to the rocket launcher, it has had a little bit of a change. It isn't as strong in a single grenade shot, but its blast radius is much bigger. It doesn't look bigger, but you have to just take my word for it. Yeah, it affects enemies in a much larger area. But also, I would have advised caution because it also hurts you at a larger area. Alright, Behemoth Cannon, Barbatos, and Ruffian Cannon. This has invul piercing, I'm pretty sure. Either both fire modes or just the alt fire. This weapon's gas might have invul piercing, I'm not sure. Homing rocket launcher got a rework. The rockets no longer track like look, man, they just were stupid before, okay? I hated this weapon. It just felt dumb to use. Let's go and summon a... What flies? We can get this guy to like fly around a little bit. The rockets track normally now. You have to aim at the target for it to work, but they actually just like fully seek now, and they will track normally instead of just like before you would shoot them and then they would just do like a light speed 90-degree turn and just fucking go after anything. And maybe some people liked it. I did not. I thought it was stupid, and I never liked using it. This also has an alt fire. As you can see, it uses gas when you use it though, and it uses more than one rocket. It uses 6, it looks like. It is a higher powered rocket for sure. It's good against bosses, and it leaves a trail of fire. It's pretty sweet. I like it. It's cool. New sprites for the rapid rocket launcher. This also uses the buffed rockets from the other rocket launcher, and like, so they're stronger, and the grenades are the same as well. They're heavier. They have a higher blast radius. This weapon is very good. BFG. This weapon has invul piercing. Legendary cannon. It's legendary cannon. New sprites, new sort of reload animation shits. Enraged cannon is a fucking monster. New sprites are awesome. Alright, the plasma repeater, here we go. This is a very, you know, a basic weapon, but it's very cool, I like it. It's a good alternative to the D-Tech rifle and the explosive rifle, and it uses cells. A great, you know, mid-game weapon. It's very strong. I mean, it's about as strong as the D-Tech rifle, maybe a tiny bit stronger, I'm not sure. Yeah, very good generic weapon. Very good. Next up, we got the railguns. Now, I did mention these briefly in the progression explanation video, but here we go again. Very cool weapons, great new sprites, great new sounds, love them. I did rebalance them a little bit, so the regular railgun has 8 shots in the mag. It can fire relatively fast, and you know, it's a good like basic railgun. The D-Tech railgun, now this weapon got nerfed in Clusterfuck 4.0. It had its fire rate reduced quite a bit, and I understood why, because it was a crutch weapon. It's all anyone used against bosses for a long time. I get why, but I just think the execution was off. And I just, I don't know, I wanted to try and revive it a bit and make it feel better. So the fire rate has been increased once again, but you only get 4 shots in the clip, or in the mag. I still don't know what fucking word to say, to be honest. Maybe they're both right. So you can fire it quickly, it feels much better to use now, but you only get 4 shots and you have to reload. The explosive railgun is similar. Because this weapon is so good at taking out adds, it's not only a good boss killer, but it's also great at just clearing rooms of adds. You only get 3 shots in the mag, and it consumes more ammo per shot. I feel like it's only fair. Now let's get some more ammo back. This has changed. The empowered version has changed, sorry. Alright, here is the Demon Tech Railgun with the new sprites, of course. The beam is like kind of jagged and curved. Like, I don't know, this looks fucking sick to me. This is very strong. It's got like a charge up beam, and the charge up beam itself does damage. I was trying to make it more interesting. I don't really know why. I can't remember what I was thinking when I changed it, but I just wanted it to be more interesting than just like Demon Tech Railgun but orange, right? And the new sprites were cool, and it kind of inspired me to work with it. Let's do this, I guess. So you can kind of use the beam to like just actually kill some enemies. It's pretty sweet. Oops, that means do that. I don't know what damage type the actual beam is. Why is it not hurting this guy? Well, it hurt him. It's kind of weird. Works against you. What's the difference? Oh god, that feels good to use. Oh man, this is a strong weapon. It just feels good. Why does it not work? I'm so confused. Maybe it's like a damage radius thing. Another sphere of power. Very nice. Alright, freeze rifle got new sounds. It's actually really satisfying to use. I really like those sounds. D-Tech rifle. Okay, yes, of course. A great change. The Phase Tech Ninja can drop this item here. A couple of other enemies can drop it as well, I think. It turns your D-Tech rifle into the Phase Tech rifle. Just again with the... Let's turn our sounds up for this. Oh, that sounds so good. And the animation just like turned out perfect as well. Obviously on reload it'll turn you invisible, same as the shotgun, the Phase Tech quad. While invisible, this weapon does invul piercing. Hallelujah, brother, more invul piercing is good. The BFG, I'm pretty sure the empowered versions of the BFG and the BFG 10K do invul piercing. This weapon has been changed a bit as a slower charge up but faster fire rate. It's pretty sweet actually. I actually use this quite a lot nowadays. I never used to use this weapon. I hated it, but it's definitely better now. Devastator uses more ammo than before. Any weapon that can clear a room like this thing should use more ammo. But also, the Commander Devastator upgrade, now known as the Cerebral Devastator upgrade, themed after the Cerebral Commander, gives this weapon an alt fire, but it requires 400 ammo. Let's give it a crack. It shoots the shit that the Cerebral Commander shoots. Very fucking loud. Okay, how about in the outside area? Let's just chuck it in there, shall we? See what happens. I don't think it's gonna kill everything. It might even be underwhelming, who knows? Never mind. Never mind. Holy shit, you know what? I might have to make this use 500 ammo instead of 400. That's so strong. And I love it. I'm not changing. I don't give a fuck. It's just too cool. It's too cool. Hellstorm BFG does invul piercing now. It uses a lot of ammo. It fucking should. Legendary BFG 10K, I think, got a damage buff against legendary monsters and some bosses. It's a cool weapon. I want it to be good. Enraged BFG, this is a thing. It kind of shoots like a line blast, kind of like the ballista from Doom Eternal. Alt fire as well is pretty sweet. Can you fuck off? Okay, Fantasy Staff Beam does invul piercing now. I don't know about the alt fire though, I can't remember. Occult spell book, okay, summon. Yep, these are gonna unlock the attacks. This has invul piercing. This has invul piercing. Black hole generator uses 600 ammo. Do not use this unless you really want to. Look, it's an absurd weapon. It's OP. This is how it's gonna be. I don't give a fuck. Marge gun. Well, actually, the legendary behemoth cannon. This was a. This has like the worst recolor I've ever seen, so I renamed it to Marge gun. And
Naturally, you're not going to perform that operation yourself.
And that is the weapon. Oh god, what else is there? Oh, yeah, any weird weapons that don't really fit into the categories like on the other keys are going in the one slot now. So I don't mind this weapon. This is actually a pretty cool weapon, but like I like to keep the weapon slots like tidy and neat, and some weapons that just didn't really fit or like things I wasn't really looking for most of the time, I put in the one slot. I just decided to do it. This weapon's pretty cool. It shoots these like fucking things that do damage over time. Pretty sweet. This has invul piercing. D-Tech Axe actually got reworked quite a bit. It shoots little projectiles when you melee now, and also has an alt fire where you like turn it around. This is not the best work I could have done with it, to be honest, but I got fed up with it halfway through trying to make it interesting. And this is how it is now. This attack is actually quite strong. It's fairly fucking strong, but it uses a lot of ammo. Oh my god, those fucking ghost things, piss off. The flame sword now has invul piercing on the ult fire attack, which is like the straight line one. Oh my god, it's gone. Did I run out of ammo? Oh god. You know what, man? Fuck off. Yeah, this attack has invul piercing. The fuck? Legendary Saber, I'm pretty sure this has invul piercing, or one of the attacks does. Alright, so the last thing I want to cover, that's all the weapons done by the way, is there is a system in this game called, that I call it the weapon replacer. Not everyone is going to like this, but this is how I like my games. Alright, so I've got the minigun, and we've got the explosive minigun, the explosive rifle, and the... What the fuck's that called again? Improved minigun. Let's say I pick up the explosive minigun. And now the minigun is gone. I found a superior weapon, and now the minigun is gone. You can pick it up again, and sometimes you might see it again, but when you swap to different weapons, a script runs and it will be like, okay, you've got this better weapon, so I'm going to take this other weapon from you now, because you don't need it anymore. Same with the explosive rifle. Once I picked that up, the assault rifle is gone, because, I mean, the explosive rifle is kind of like a better assault rifle. I don't like weapon clog. I don't like having a bunch of weapons I never use. That's why I made this system. Improved minigun should get rid of the explosive minigun. Yes, it does. But, like, sometimes you'll still have it, though, because, like, just depending on what weapons you cycle through, different scripts will run. But, you know, most of the time, this system will clean up and, like, get rid of some of the useless weapons that you're never going to use because you found better shit. For anyone wondering, I'm going to do a quick give all. The assault shotgun, once you have this, the regular shotgun goes away. Also, if you have the quad, the regular SSG goes away as well. You still keep the Hexa and the quad, no problem. I know different people like to use these. Explosive shotgun stays. I don't know why, I feel like this is not one that you want to lose. It's just a good generic weapon. Sometimes it's more handy than this. So nothing else really gets taken. The legendary coach gun, the legendary SSG, gets taken if you have the legendary quad. I went through these. There are the plasma rifle. Okay, the grenade launcher gets taken if you have the rapid rocket launcher, because this can also shoot grenades. If you have the plasma repeater, the plasma rifle gets taken away because this is just a superior weapon. It's the same but better. And I think that's it. Like, that's the only cleaning up that had to be done. And then all the random weapons that, like, just kind of don't really fit anywhere go on the one slot. Optimization, baby. I know not everyone is going to like these things, but look, there are plenty of mods out there you can play that have infinity weapons in them, and if you want to go and play those, go play those. This mod is not about having 500 weapons, it's about having 20 that are good and that you will always use. So, that's that. That's the weapons done. And then in the next video, we'll be going over monsters and covering like individual monsters and going through their attacks and the changes and shit. But for now, we're done. Hope you enjoyed the video and I will see you next time. Goodbye.